It's definitely going to have an impact to the community for sure. It's good to see.
A first for Port Alberni since the pandemic. The world comes to the island community, what it means for the economy, and what is the future of cruising for the region. Canada's opposition leader makes a campaign-like stop here on the island, what he has to say about fishing rights and our economy. And thousands gear up for one of the island's most iconic races. The Dragon Boat Festival gets underway in Victoria's Inner Harbour. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. The country's opposition leader making a stop on the island this weekend as he is swinging through the West. Friday, he was speaking on his party voting against the Comox First Nations treaty, sparking pushback from the Comox chief, saying Pierre Poilievre's description of the treaty is inaccurate. Well, today, the Conservative leader was talking to Islanders about fishing rights and the economy. Here's Chattis Leo from Duncan.
Conversations about the future of recreational and commercial fishing on Vancouver Island are taking center stage here in Duncan this weekend. Federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, along with Island Conservative MPs Jeff Kibble, Tamara Cronus, and Aaron Gunn, hosted a recreational fishing town hall, inviting anglers, tourism operators, and community members to share their concerns about fish stock, regulation, and the long-term future of the industry. Poilievre was greeted warmly at the Duncan Meadows Golf Course, where he sat with fellow caucus members and spoke to community members, telling them that
we are now in a recession. We're the only country in the G7 in a recession. The cost of living rising out of control.
After criticizing the Liberal government, Poilievre spoke to those in the room that belong to the fishing industry.
The DFO just published a policy discussion paper considering the removal of the common property principle that we treasure. And as leader of the Conservative Party, I can confirm that we oppose that principle, and we will fight every day in every way to preserve common property for all of you.
Poilievre also announcing that their fix for, quote, soft catch and release laws, known as Bailey's Law, received royal dissent just 3 days ago. A criminal code to strengthen protections and increase penalties for intimate partner violence. The event had a clear campaign feel, with many in the crowd using the forum to press the Conservative leader on the current government's approach to resource management, rifle ownership, and domestic spending. In the end, the town hall became less about fishing and more about asking Poilievre what Canada would look like if he was to become this country's next prime minister.
And our Prime Minister and Premier David Eby teaming up this week to announce a $3 billion project that includes government buying vacant condos to turn them into affordable housing. But as CBC's Katie DeRosa reports, critics say it amounts to a bailout for struggling developers.
BC is facing a glut of empty condos. Thousands of Metro Vancouver units are sitting empty.
We haven't seen these numbers since about the mid to late 90s.
But Andy Yan is questioning a plan announced by Mark Carney and David Eby to use up to $3 billion in taxpayer money to buy up to 2,200 vacant condo units and turn them into affordable homes.
How much of this is really a way of really helping out the industry versus, I think, a bailout.
Data from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation shows that as of last month, there were more than 4,300 completed condos in Metro Vancouver sitting empty, a 76% increase from the year before. Yan has crunched those numbers and found that a third of all those empty condos are listed for over $1 million. Mark Carney did not say if the government plans to buy up units in bulk at below market value. One BC Conservative MLA says red tape has driven up the costs of construction.
Only government can tax and regulate an industry into a crisis and then give them a bailout.
The head of the BC Construction Association says this funding can give builders certainty during tough economic times.
To give it confidence that it can go forward with planning and building and workforce challenges and supply chain challenges.
The head of BC's nonprofit housing association is slamming the province for giving handouts to developers months after it axed the Community Housing Fund, which put thousands of shovel-ready affordable units in jeopardy.
To spend public dollars to bail out the condo market or the private development sector, I think, frankly, is a misuse of public funds.
Neither the province nor Ottawa has released details on which units to buy and at how deep a discount.
The cruise industry brings in hundreds of millions of dollars towards the island's economy while creating hundreds of jobs, with hundreds of ships stopping mainly in Victoria's Ogden Point. But today it's Port Alberni's turn to get a piece of the action. The first cruise ship since the pandemic arrived today, delivering a big economic boost to the West Coast community that's been hit hard by mill closures. The World is a luxury live-aboard vessel for global travelers, and as Sky Ryan reports, it will be docked in the community all weekend long.
Yeah, spectacular.
Excitement fills Port Alberni's waterfront Saturday as the luxury cruise ship The World docks in this West Coast community. It hasn't seen a cruise ship here since 2019.
It is a big deal, yeah. It's definitely going to have an impact to the community for sure. It's good to see.
I couldn't figure out why I was shaking a little bit. And I said, well, I'm not nervous. It's got to be because I'm excited.
The World is a luxury ocean liner of 165 private apartments and unloaded hundreds of its curious residents and crew to explore Port Alberni, where many had never been.
It's really quite lovely. It's my first time, and very excited to be there.
It's so beautiful. It's really beautiful part of the country.
Cruise ship's arrival quickly filling the farmers market, shops, and Alberni Pacific Railway train station that needed these ticket sales after suffering repeated acts of vandalism and arson in recent weeks.
And we'll be glad to support the community every which way we can. Luckily, our little locomotive was spared the damage and the destruction.
81-year-old Sally Anderson is known throughout Port Alberni as the Flag Lady because she waves flags 4 times each day outside her home to spread friendliness. Saturday, she brought her ritual to meet cruise ship visitors.
Hello, everybody.
At the train station.
So this is my first time back after 6 or 7 years. Exciting, and I've got goosebumps.
Should have a lot of extra tourism and people coming in. We're excited to see them in town.
It's always an economic generator for any community when you get crews to visit. There's so many spin-offs where it's just the foot traffic or outright excursions.
The World is the only cruise ship scheduled to visit Port Alberni this year or next, but the port has big plans to attract more.
We've had some great activity in recent weeks with some other potential visits. A lot of talks going on as you know, Port Albernians have a tough time on the downturn of the forest industry, trying to reinvent ourselves.
Yet cruise ship visitor Sébastien Robichaud says this unique and genuine welcome sets this place apart.
So just want to stay here. That's it.
The World will stay in Port Alberni for 2 full days before setting out for Prince Rupert late Sunday night.
Mark Zuckerberg's yacht Launchpad has moved out of our waters and is now anchored just on the other side of the border at Stewart Island in Washington. The 118-meter super yacht had been anchored off South Pender Island since Thursday. It has left our waters. Feedship Shipyards, who built the vessel, states at one point the largest yacht it ever constructed up until 2024 at 118 meters, roughly 390 feet, and a fuel capacity of more than 100,000 gallons. It's estimated the cost comes in around $300 million US. Launchpad's shadow vessel, Wingman, also spending time in our waters, is an 80-meter support vessel coming in around $100 million, and it carries recreational equipment like helicopters, submarines, and day boats. Well, a slow go for people heading to Tofino. There's a shoulder maintenance happening on Highway 4 for several days. The work is being done between Port Alberni's Riverbend Bridge and the Tofino-Ucluelet Junction. Main Road Construction says these delays will continue into Monday. The Tofino-Ucluelet Junction is where Highway 4, the Pacific Rim Highway, ends, and drivers either turn right to Tofino or left to Ucluelet. Crews plan to complete the project between 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily right until Monday, and drivers to expect slow-moving lane closures during those times. For more details, you can head to our website. BC Wildfire Service says to exercise caution this weekend despite no active wildfires on the island right now. The BC Wildfire Service currently allows campfires on the island, but some municipalities may not. And as dry and warm conditions continue this weekend and into next week, the service is reminding people to exercise caution.
If you are having a campfire, we want people to continue to exercise caution, create a fire break around the area. Never leave the campfire unattended. Make sure it's completely extinguished before you leave the area.
The wildfire in Port Alberni that sparked earlier this week is under control now and considered out. The same goes for the 2 wildfires discovered last Sunday, including one near the Nanaimo River and the other in the upper Little Nitnat River west of Cowichan Lake. Despite the low wildfire activity, the message playing on repeat to the public is to exercise caution as more hot and dry conditions are ahead. Stepping off the island for a moment, dozens of homes evacuated in Lytton as the village is still recovering from the devastating fire in 2021. The community nearly wiped off the map by flames 5 years ago this month. The residents of 63 properties remain evacuated from their homes right now. The regional district declared state of emergency in Lytton and Blue Sky County, and evacuation orders and alerts have also been issued in the area. The BC Wildfire saying its crews are battling a fire about 3 kilometers south of Lytton, where a moderate rate of spread is happening. On June 30th, 2021, one day after Lytton recorded a Canadian temperature record of 49.6 degrees Celsius, a wildfire swept through the village, killing 2 people and leveling almost the entire community. Warning for people looking to use the Mount Finlayson Trail in Goldstream Park this weekend. BC Parks has closed the trail due to what it calls dangerous wildlife activity. Visitors will run into a sign and a gate blocking the entrance, asking hikers to avoid the trail. The trail is closed from the Finlayson Arm Road trailhead to the southern base of Mount Finlayson. The BC Conservation and BC Park says it's monitoring the situation, adding that the trail will remain closed until further notice due to dangerous wildlife activity posing a risk to public safety. Signs are up today indicating a cougar is in the area. If you encounter a cougar here on the island, you are advised not to turn and run, but rather stand your ground, make eye contact, and pick up children and small pets and slowly back away facing the cat. Campbell River's own Rod Brindamore celebrating the Stanley Cup in downtown Raleigh today. Thousands of jubilant Carolina Hurricanes fans crammed onto sidewalks, gathered around the office building windows to cheer and wave at the team's Stanley Cup championship parade on today. The Hurricanes head coach from Campbell River first took the position back in 2018. 3 years later, he won the Jack Adams Award for NHL Coach of the Year. The players boarded double-decker buses for the parade that weaved by the state capitol building, while Brindamore was in the back of a late model truck taking in the scene. They were greeted by fans screaming, chanting, waving flags, and wearing Carolina jerseys, still buzzing from the franchise beating the Vegas Golden Knights last weekend to win the Cup for the second time, the other coming in 2006 when Brindamore was captain, beating the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games. Tess Van Straten joining us now on a stunning stretch of weather we are having. There are definitely concerns out there in terms of dry conditions, but it is beautiful.
It's been a very dry, sunny stretch. Today, not though as warm as other days. So people who'd had enough of the heat got a little bit of a break today because we saw that temperature cool off a little bit today as expected, but things will start ramping up again. So warmer conditions tomorrow for Father's Day and the first day of astronomical summer as well.
Here we go.
Tomorrow is the summer solstice and then hot conditions early next week. So let's take a look at our temperature map so you can see what's in store for tomorrow. So here's overnight, cooling down really nicely. That's the good news. Most areas below the 15-degree mark is that overnight low, and then warming up pockets of red, quite a bit more red than what we saw today in Greater Victoria. Most areas were 18 to about 21 degrees. The warmest spots were closer to about 23 degrees. Yesterday, the warmest spots were 28 degrees. So we're seeing warmer conditions ahead for tomorrow, but still pretty nice weather. So great weather for all the Father's Day barbecues or golf games or whatever you might have planned. And then hot hot conditions, so lots of areas at 30 degrees or above early this week. And the Pacific Northwest actually has issued a heat advisory for Monday to Wednesday for our neighbors in the south. They're expecting temperatures in Fahrenheit between 85 and 95 degrees there, and warmer than normal overnight lows as well, which helps us not cool off as much when those overnight lows tend to be a little bit warmer. But really, it's been an incredible stretch of weather in terms of the best Vancouver Island has to offer for getting out and seeing things. So a little bit of up and down, and good news, we finally have a chance of rain in our forecast. It was looking like the driest parts of the island wouldn't have any precipitation for the rest of this month, but at this point we do have at least a small chance of showers for all of the island, and some areas definitely have a very, very good chance of shower activity at least later next week. So I'll have more on that coming up. We might finally have some rain this time next week. More on that. But first, today's weather photo is this beautiful shot of the sunrise at Sydney Pier. It was taken by Alan Lloyd last August during the same kind of extended sunny and dry conditions that we're currently experiencing. And how cool is this shot? Our Saturday Viewer Wildlife photo is this great capture from Ken Meadows. Ken says it's always good fun watching tree swallows feeding their young, especially when they do it on the fly. Literally. I'm told these little birds can eat up to 2,000 flying insects a day. Ken says these two were lowering the bug count for him in central Saanich. Good job, birds. As the school year draws to a close, we had our last CHEK weather school before summer holidays at Ecole Quadra Elementary yesterday. I was at teacher Brittany Johnson's kindergarten and grade 1 French immersion class. We were only able to do a photo with a few of the students, but it was a very inquisitive and engaged group, and they had lots of questions about tornadoes. And tornadoes are what we're talking about today on our viewer weather school question. Now, you've probably heard of Tornado Alley, but do you know what country has the most tornadoes in the world with, believe it or not, more than 1,200 tornadoes every year? So Scott, would you care to hazard a guess?
Maybe it's too obvious, but I'm going to say the United States of America.
Okay. You'll have to stick around to find out the answer. Don't go anywhere.
I will stay right here. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Tess. Well, many soccer fans in our country still feeling the high from last week's major win at BC Place. But now the attention turns to next week as Canada returns to the pitch for another big game, the Vibe in Vancouver, when we come back.
Every child on Vancouver Island deserves the chance to live their dream.
What a hit! A home run!
With your support, the Canadian Tire Jumpstart program builds more than a game. We build a community. When local kids can play, we all win.
Sometimes carpets get dirty. It's a good thing Nationwide Carpet Cleaning can make them clean again. We offer multi-room packages with a money-back guarantee. And did we mention we also clean furniture? Nationwide Carpet Cleaning, service that works for you.
I used to think that nothing can stop me. Then I faced bladder cancer and even leaks an opponent I could not run. But I knew I had to stay in the game. So take it from me. Don't be afraid to try Depend Guards. It changes everything but you.
For your yard and garden, Tufter stocks local supplies made for our local environment and supported by knowledgeable local staff. Think local, Victoria.
Make gardening and composting simpler and easier with Community Composting. They provide you with a yard container, you drop in organic waste, they empty the container, and every 4 weeks you receive a bag of composted soil. Simple, easy. Sign up today, communitycomposting.ca.
Take your comfort to new heights with Mountain Peak Heating and Cooling. With professional heat pump installs, dependable service, and in-house design, we are local experts keeping you comfortable through every season. Your home deserves comfort that steps above the rest. Mountain Peak Heating and Cooling.
Canadians across our country still basking in the afterglow of the first ever World Cup win by the men's national soccer team. CBC's Amelia John shows us how the city of Vancouver and fans there are preparing for another big match next week.
Canada's men's soccer team back on the pitch to practice at UBC Friday, a day after their historic World Cup match against Qatar in Vancouver. The team riding high on their 6-0 win.
The guys did a great job where we did what the match plan was required. Step on the gas, take our opportunity.
The soccer spirit still strong on Granville Street, with fans basking in Thursday's win.
That game they won 6-0, so that was amazing to watch.
It's nice to see Granville Street like this. I really like this.
While the good vibes continue, the focus is turning to the next match.
You're making us proud.
Yeah. Make us super proud, keep strong, I don't know.
Keep having fun. They look like they're having a lot of fun.
They do look like they're having fun, yeah.
Let's go! Now everybody's a Canada soccer fan after a 6-0 win. But we're going to try to maintain normalcy and focus on the task at hand.
Team Canada's next match is set for Wednesday against Switzerland, once again at BC Place.
A new organization has joined the push for Alberta to separate from our country. The group, called Let Alberta Decide, launched its formal campaign in Calgary. CBC's Karina Zapata reports.
We're 4 months away from a historic opportunity for Alberta to chart a new course towards independence.
Alberta's done waiting. That's the message this organization is trying to get across, and the name of its new campaign.
We've outgrown our relationship with Ottawa, and it's time for us to set out on our own. Independence allows Albertans to make decisions that affect Albertans.
Lawyer Keith Wilson is leading Let Alberta Decide with independence advocate and fourth-generation farmer Tanya Clemens.
4 months is the timeline that we have to work with.
They say together they'll push for separation through social media, news media, and town halls, with a focus on undecided urban voters.
And when we're up against federal governments, our provincial government is campaigning against us, and a lot of people with a lot of money behind them, the more that we have advocating for this, the better.
One political analyst says it makes sense to have different groups targeting different grievances.
There is going to be muddling because there's a muddling of different points of view. When you look at what separatists want when they say they support separation, it means very different things to very different people.
But William says it could make it tougher for the movement to unify and organize effectively.
Much of Western Europe sweltering in a punishing heat wave right now, with the mercury expected to continue to rise in the coming days. Britain, France, Spain, Switzerland, Germany all have raised alert levels. So have some cities in northern and central Italy. France is being hit especially hard. Hundreds of schools were forced to alter their timetables to cope. Forecasters warn that temperatures in Paris could soar above 40 degrees for the first time on a day in June. At least 5 people are dead after an overnight Israeli airstrike hit a residential building in Gaza City. Local health officials say the victims include a mother, father, and their 2 young daughters. Several other people were injured in the attack, which residents say came without warning. The strike comes as fighting continues, despite a ceasefire brokered by the United States last October. Gaza health authorities say more than 1,000 people have been killed since that truce took effect. British Columbia nurses have rejected a tentative contract reached by their union and the provincial government. The union, representing 60,000 nurses, says 67% of members who voted turned down the deal that was reached last month. Nurses were offered a 12% wage increase over 4 years, along with other improved benefits. The BC Nurses Union says the results send a powerful message that nurses feel they are carrying the weight of increased pressures on the healthcare system, and they want the government to recognize the value of their work. A man and a woman in their 70s have died after an assault at their home in southern Ontario, and a Canada-wide warrant has been issued for their son.
He's been identified as a Jordan Sanguin, 46 years of age. Jordan is described as male white, slim build, 5'10".
Officers responding to calls of a disturbance at a home just west of Toronto. The elderly couple were found in life-threatening condition. Both victims were taken to hospital where they eventually died from their injuries, which police say were caused by a firearm. Police say the suspect is considered armed and dangerous and urging anyone who sees him to contact them right away. Well, how a scam causes confusion in our healthcare system, what a nurses union says needs to do and needs to happen to protect frontline workers in Canada.
At ComSense, craftsmanship and integrity come first. While others may use plywood with higher formaldehyde, at ComSense, we meet the safest standards using only the finest materials. From hidden dado joints, German drawer slides and hinges, and a variety of premium doors, we build our cabinets to last. Backed by a lifetime warranty. Get 10% off and a free sink and faucet. Visit ComSenseKitchenCabinets.com today. If it's quality, it's ComSense.
The answer you've been searching for is the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee Hybrid.
Centrum, a complete multivitamin to support a healthy foundation for every body. Centrum supports your immune system and your, energy metabolism too. Plus, try new Centrum Adults 50 Plus, clinically shown to support memory and cognitive health. Through the 26th.
Summer perfection awaits at the Bayside. Picture oceanfront views, award-winning dining, poolside bliss. One unforgettable escape designed just for you. The Bayside Oceanfront Resort, Parksville. Your perfect summer is waiting. Book today.
Romeo's is proud to be serving Victoria and Vancouver Island for over 40 years. If you can't come to Romeo's, Romeo's will deliver to you.
300 Romeo's pizzas delivered right now. Whoa, it's Romeo's. Proud sponsor of people who you love to eat.
Join CHEK News political correspondent Rob Shaw on Political Capital, brought to you by Uber Canada. Learn how Uber and Mad Canada are working to reduce impaired driving at uber.com/home soon.
This CHEK program is brought to you in part by Real Rug Washing by Loverrug.com. Fall in love with your rugs all over again.
Two unions representing healthcare workers in our country are demanding an investigation after staff got an email promising them an extra day off. But as Abby Cole explains, that turned out to be a cyber scam test.
When Newfoundland and Labrador brought in a new digital health information system in April, it meant more work for healthcare workers. That's why this email, promising a day off in recognition of their hard work, was a welcome surprise until they clicked the button to register and found out it was actually a phishing test by the employer.
It is not in good taste. It is very insensitive and very disrespectful to our members.
Unions representing healthcare workers are demanding action.
Whoever is responsible for sending this has to be dealt with, and then a full investigation to make sure this never happens again.
Phishing tests are simulated cyber attacks used by organizations to teach employees to be careful when opening emails.
So doing a fake phishing test is a little bit like having a fire drill. It's testing how will people react when something happens. That is kind of a negative thing that we want people to be able to respond to.
But Jonathan Anderson says crafting these tests is a balancing act.
The closer you get to the real incident, the more of a genuine reaction you get from people. But on the other hand, not like traumatizing your people. When we have a fire drill, we don't fill the hallway with smoke.
After the backlash, the CEO of Newfoundland and Labrador Health apologized.
I asked the leadership in digital health to immediately kill that email. And as well, I have people looking into now how the approvals mechanisms for that particular campaign, how they happen. So we're reviewing that now, and obviously we want to learn from that so this doesn't happen again.
NL Health is taking full responsibility and says an update on their investigation into how this happened will be available within a couple weeks.
A beautiful shot of Victoria's Inner Harbour as the Dragon Boat Festival is underway, kicked off this weekend. We'll have much more on that coming up. Plus, Tess will join us with more on weather.
I'm Tess Van Stratton, and your sunny island forecast is coming up. But first, here's a look at weather around the world. A sizzling and mainly cloudy 37 in Milan, Italy, as the European heat wave continues. 11 and cloudy in Uruguay's capital, and a very dry but sweltering 41 in Mexicali, Mexico.
Weather around the world is brought to you by ComSense Cabinets. Designed for your space, built for your life.
This Father's Day, Point Hope Maritime is hosting a free open house and Ralmax Group job fair. Head to the Empress Dock or Selkirk Dock to catch a free harbor ferry to and from the event and experience the perfect Father's Day outing. Shipyard tours, local artists, live entertainment, fun for the whole family. 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come see us.
At Save On Foods, our new Unreal deal is on. Plus, get an extra deal when you load your My Offers. Find new deals every week at our best prices.
Harbor Cats Baseball is Victoria's hottest summer entertainment. Single game tickets on sale now. See you at the game. Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park.
In 1936, the Victoria Foundation was founded with a simple idea: to uplift the community by investing in positive solutions.
Now we invite you to celebrate 90 years of uplifting Greater Victoria.
Join us on Saturday, September 26th for celebrations and entertainment.
Be inspired by New York Times bestselling author Ben Nemtin.
And welcome new CEO Ian Burt. Come celebrate 90 years of impact.
And the future community impact of the Victoria Foundation.
Whether on the go or on the job, the legendary Toyota Tundra will leave you tundra-struck. It's time to be impressed. It's time to Toyota.
Duradeck. Rain or shine, we've got you covered.
For many Vancouver Islanders, sandal season is all season. At Walking Comfort, sandal season is officially on with this year's new arrivals. We know, exciting stuff, right? At Birkenstock, form meets function. Comfortable, iconic design in a wide selection of colors, textures, and patterns. Individual style, perfect for everyone. Walk in comfort with 5 locally owned island locations. Ask about our frequent buyer plan.
Well, we've had some incredible weather out there. The water has been fantastic, some flat seas, and lots of people getting out and seeing some incredible marine life. So we'll bring some highlights to you now in this weekend's Breaching News.
Breaching News is presented by Prince of Wales, Whale and Marine Wildlife Adventures.
So the team at Prince of Wales very excited to show us this video tonight. Humpbacks and orcas obviously share our waters, but it's rare to see them together. So here they are together. The interactions, they're pretty fascinating to watch because the reason isn't clear. Humpback whales are known to interrupt big killer whales' hunts, sometimes going out of their way to investigate or intervene.
Yeah, they'll save seals.
Right, they get involved.
From the bigs.
Other times, young killer whales seem curious about the much larger whales. Sometimes there's no reason at all, but here they are together, frolicking in the Salish Sea. Sights like this are increasingly common in the spring months when stellar sea lions numbers are at their highest in the Salish Sea right now. Most stellar sea lions head north to their Alaskan breeding grounds by midsummer, so we're enjoying the impressive gatherings while we can before they disembark.
And I bet they're enjoying being out on the rocks and all the sunshine we've had.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's been perfect temperatures
Soaking
for
up
them.
that sun.
And speaking of sea lions, the orcas are also enjoying having them around. Don't worry, we're not going to show anything.
I do not want to see that.
We're not going to see that. These two families, led by Sydney and Kittiwake, have several young whales in tow, an adult male named Stanley. So they require a lot of food to support their growth and travels. Big killer whales can travel more than 100 kilometers per day while searching for prey. These families have been spending the last couple of months in the Salish Sea. And like you've mentioned, the weather's been perfect. How can you really blame them, Tess?
And what great footage of them all together like that.
Yeah,
as a family
shot.
group. That's
but they
amazing.
they do need the sea lions.
I know, that's
That's
what
how
they,
Mother
yes.
Nature works.
Unlike our resident orcas, our endangered orcas that don't.
No, they like the salmon.
Fish, yes.
They like the salmon. So again, they prey too. That's how the circle of life.
Circle
as
of
they say.
life.
So a little bit cooler out there for people who might have gotten a little bit of an intense, feeling the intense heat. So we're getting a bit of a break from that.
Yes, I've had complaints it's too hot, so we got a little bit of a break with the heat today. You're welcome for that, and we're going to ramp things up again. So I don't get complaints now that it's too cold. We'll have warmer temperatures on the way. So we could have some potentially very hot conditions above 30 degrees. But before I get to that, Scott, it is time for CHEK Weather School. These are clouds. Our last CHEK Weather School of the 2025-26 school year was at École Quadra Elementary this week. Teacher Brittany Johnson's kindergarten and grade 1 French immersion class has been looking outside and making predictions about the weather. This very inquisitive group was very interested in severe weather. They had lots of questions about thunderstorms and tornadoes in particular, and they really enjoyed watching a video of a dangerous tornado that touched down in Nebraska last month.
I thought it was awesome. It must have been so scary. The most surprising thing is how that man survived being in the area of Tornado 4.
I really liked when we got to watch the video of the tornado, and also I didn't know what an atmosphere river was before.
What were you thinking when you were watching the tornado video?
Yeah, it can be so big and it's dangerous.
They sure can be dangerous. There have actually been 5 tornadoes in Alberta this week alone, including this one causing damage northwest of Edmonton. The province has now had a dozen tornadoes so far this year, but on average, Ontario is the Canadian province that sees the most twisters, with an average of 18 per year. And that brings us to this week's CHEK Weather School question for viewers. Do you know what country has the most tornadoes in the world, with more than 1,200 twisters every year? Well, if you guessed the United States like Scott did with its infamous Tornado Alley, you are right. They most often occur between April and June, and an average of 71 people are killed by tornadoes each year in the U.S. One of the worst tornado seasons on record was the spring of 2011. Between April and June of that year, tornadoes killed more than 580 people and caused more than $21 billion in damage. These destructive storms usually form in supercell thunderstorms, which you can often recognize by their anvil-shaped cumulonimbus clouds. These intense thunderstorms have a very strong, rotating, persistent updraft that can lead to a tornado. But tornadoes are notoriously difficult to predict, and while they're short-lived, wind speeds in an EF5 tornado, the most severe, are above 200 miles or 322 kilometers an hour. But it's believed tornadic wind speeds can get as high as 300 miles or 483 kilometers an hour in the most violent funnel clouds. The good news is we have no tornadoes in our forecast. Very, very unusual for us to see a tornado here. They really just don't happen here, which is
good news for us because of how damaging they can be. And part of the reason the Prairie see tornadoes, Ontario and Quebec can see tornadoes, a large chunk of the US can see tornadoes as well. We don't have a lot of thunderstorm activity, so we usually don't get those supercell thunderstorm clouds that are needed to fuel those tornadoes. Sometimes we do see water spouts though on the water. They can form here and there'll be water spout warnings from time to time as well. Here's a look at our futurecast. So high pressure is still keeping us clear. Some areas like Port Renfrew might see a little more cloud cover tomorrow morning, but sunshine in store for Father's Day and the summer solstice for tomorrow. It's our longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere and the shortest day of the year, signaling winter in the southern hemisphere. And then those hot temperatures Monday, Tuesday in particular, before we get a little closer to normal and hopefully have a little bit of rain in the forecast by next weekend. Here's a look at the North Island picture. So just a few clouds tonight and then tomorrow into that sunshine, 22 to 23 by the water. Inland areas, it actually should say 28 degrees inland, not 22 degrees inland there. Some fog patches developing overnight as well and then burning off in the morning for you. So if you're inland, much warmer temperatures in store for tomorrow. West coast of the island, we're looking at double-digit overnight lows right across the board. Beautiful conditions tonight for coastal areas as well as inland locations like Port Alberni, Gold River, and Lake Cowichan, then into that sunshine tomorrow. So coastal areas looking at highs around 19 degrees, which is right around seasonal or slightly above. Lots of sunshine in store. And then inland areas, expect sunny conditions in the morning and then a mix of sun and cloud. And you do have a small chance of precipitation tomorrow afternoon. So that's good news because the fire danger rating for the Port Alberni area is now extreme. So hopefully we see a little bit of precipitation for tomorrow. High 20 temperatures for tomorrow. Some of those hotter pockets in Port Alberni might see 30 or above. And then Monday, Tuesday, you are looking at temperatures above 30 degrees again for Port Alberni and hotter pockets inland. Here's a look at the East Island and Powell River. So double-digit overnight lows, clear skies tonight, just beautiful conditions once again. And then mid-20 degree temperatures from Parksville, Qualicum up to Campbell River. Inland areas, though, 27 degrees is what it will be as your temperature for tomorrow. And then Nanaimo south to the Cowichan Valley, looking at highs around 27 degrees with mainly sunny conditions in store. Powell River, 25 with mainly sunny conditions. So it's a very stable weather period for us right now, and that stretch will continue for at least a few more days. Now for the South Island, we're looking at double-digit overnight lows, 11 to 12 degrees, clear skies tonight, just a couple clouds for Port Renfrew in the forecast, and then tomorrow mainly sunny conditions for Greater Victoria, Salt Spring Island, Souk also looking at mainly sunny conditions, and then Port Renfrew, cloudier conditions in the morning. So likely mainly cloudy in the morning, and you might see a little more sunshine in the afternoon. Cooler temperatures for Port Renfrew and Souk as well. Most of Victoria around that 23 degree mark for tomorrow. Some hotter pockets could be closer to 25. And then those colder spots by the water looking at temperatures closer to about 18 degrees in the forecast for tomorrow. So we're still seeing that range that will continue for the next few days as well. So if it's too hot, there is a place you can go to get a little bit of relief, where those areas by the water where winds blow on shore. Salt Spring also, we are looking at that 27. We're having some little bugs in our weather system today. So Salt Spring is 22 tomorrow as the high, and then 25 for inland areas. That 27 isn't until Monday. You can expect temperatures to be 27 degrees. Vancouver, we're looking at mainly sunny skies into the Fraser Valley as well, and then high 20s for the Fraser Valley, closer to 23 for Vancouver, warmer for Whistler, Bella Coola, lots of sunshine, warm temperatures there. And we do have an air quality warning for around the Lytton area due to the fire there. Thunderstorms for Williams Lake, Prince George, into Cranbrook, and zooming out. Beautiful conditions for Prince Rupert and Haida Gwaii, more thunderstorms for Fort St. John. Whitehorse getting in on that as well. Rainfall warning still in effect for the Edmonton area, between 75 and 150 millimeters of rain this weekend. So some heavy rain there. Thunderstorms right through the prairies. Winnipeg's the exception there with some sunshine. And then Ontario and Quebec also looking at thunderstorm activity. All right, here's a look at the North Island picture. So for the summer solstice tomorrow, warm temperatures inland, 22 by the water, and then same idea for Monday as well. 28 for inland areas, 22 by the water. Still sunny Tuesday before you cloud over. Cool down a little bit Wednesday. Pretty good chance of showers. That's the good news for Thursday. Then rain ahead for Friday, but that temperature does cool down with that as well. So dipping below seasonal. And for the Central Island, after that mainly sunny day for tomorrow, High 20-degree temperatures for areas by the water. These are locations on the East Island by the water, but inland areas 30 to 32 degrees for Monday. And then areas by the water on Tuesday will be above 30. So inland will be warmer than that. High 20s for Wednesday, and then back closer to seasonal Thursday, sunny and 23. And then finally, a chance of showers, 30% chance of showers on Friday with a mix of sun and cloud. South Island also has a chance of showers, but first, more sunshine in store. So after that, nice day ahead for tomorrow, warmer conditions, high 20s on Monday, but by the water again, sort of that low 20 mark Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, sticking with high 20s for other areas Tuesday and Wednesday. A little more cloud cover for Tuesday, Thursday also partly sunny conditions, and then seasonal highs around 20 degrees Friday with a 30% chance of showers. At this point, Saturday's looking like it'll be a 60% chance. All right, here's a look at today's country grocer celebrations. Happy 90th birthday to twins Bruce Wood of Gabriola Island and Nancy Clark of Belleville, Ontario, as they mark this milestone. 100th birthday greetings also go out to Nut Moscow of Victoria as they celebrate a century today. A very happy 102nd birthday to Beryl Holt of Mill Bay on this special day. And congratulations to Ron and Belle Pierce of Courtney as they celebrate their 62nd anniversary. I hope you had a wonderful day. And now it's time for your smile of the day, and you might go bananas over it.
Smile of the Day, brought to you by Dr. Ross Crapo and Associates.
If we haven't met you yet, we're just a phone call away. If we can help, we'd like to.
So Lucy Jackson sent in this video of her daughter Haley's dog Scooby, one of their Mexican rescues. Now it looks like she's just chilling on a nice day in the yard, but wait for it.
Oh, what's that? Dad must have opened up a banana. Oh my goodness, without saying a word, that dog can hear a banana in the backyard. You want banana? Yes, I do.
So the audio was a little quiet at the beginning, but Scooby goes absolutely bananas for bananas. So she can actually hear the quiet peeling of the banana, maybe smell them from the yard. Her sister Bianca apparently enjoys bananas as well. Thanks to Lucy, Gary, and Haley for this very funny video. You can see the moment she hears it or smells it because her head just immediately perks up, and then she's booting it to the door like, where's my banana? It's banana time.
Good stuff. Thanks, Tess. Well, the Dragon Boat Festival underway in Victoria this weekend. We'll have sights and sounds from the Inner Harbor from one of the biggest, longest running events in the city's Inner Harbor.
Hi, my name is Andre Marty, and 10 years ago, Helpful a Dream gave me my childhood back. For 40 years, they've been changing families' lives on Vancouver Island. With your support, they can keep making the impossible possible. Never underestimate the power of dreams and your role in filling them.
Hey besties, tonight we're going to be using this peptide serum and reporting Eric from accounting's can't miss opportunity with its fake guaranteed returns. Consider your fancy homes gone, like these pores. Look how smooth.
You're the one they call to power it and go the distance. So when the call comes, answer it with the F-150 Power Boost Hybrid. Get this F-150 with financing from 0% plus $12.50 in Ford accessories.
Get Advil Liquid Gels for fast and effective relief. And conquer your tough pain and fevers with the power of Liquid Fast Relief. Try Advil Liquid Gels and get liquid fast relief.
Canada are pressing. That's a quality ball. Now into the box.
It's like I'm powerful with a That's just the way you make me feel.
Do you know what's in your mattress and how it's made? At Rest House, our Cocoon mattresses are designed with fully accessible latex layers. Support where you need it with a mattress made to last. Fall into the best sleep of your life.
This week on Political Capital, BC gets a federal housing deal, and do we need a Site E dam? Our panel breaks it all down Sundays on CHEK and wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by Uber Canada.
Closed captioning of this CHEK program is brought to you by Mac Reno Design Build. Update your life with Mac. Custom high-quality design build renovations in Victoria since 1980.
McMillan Bloedel's Tree Farm License 44 covers 370,000 hectares of productive forest land. It's defined roughly by the west central island communities of Port Alberni, Tofino, and Bamfield. It contains old-growth areas that have become the rallying cries of conservationists: Clayoquot Sound, Namint, Carmanah, and Walbrand. Working with the BC Ministry of Forests, Mac Blow has developed a 5-year management and working plan for TFL 44. The public will be able to examine and critique the new strategy at open houses on Friday and Saturday.
The forest values are changing, and they're changing very rapidly. What we have is a snapshot in time, which is our understanding of what the values are today. One of the reasons that we're adamant about the public input into the planning process is to ensure that our perception of what these changing values are is in fact reflecting that of the public wishes.
No way. Don't try to move this vehicle or you will kill him. I'm stepping aside. I'm not here.
Environmentalists have tried to stop the logging of old-growth forests. At times, radical methods have been employed. Action is planned for tomorrow afternoon when members of the Bridge will march into the Ministry of Forests building and occupy Chief Forester John Cuthbert's office. They say the ministry is making a mockery of public input process.
Our position is that the Ministry of Forests isn't doing their job. They're not advertising the plans. They talk about public involvement, but when it comes time for public involvement, they don't let the public know what's going on. So since they're not doing it, we're going to do it, if we can.
We haven't heard directly that anyone is coming. We've heard indirectly through the media there will be some form of staged event. And if there is, if it comes off, we'll respond as best we can. We don't know the agenda. We haven't had any formal contact. Perhaps we should be given notice the same way we give notice on the plans.
Members of the Bridge include people who also belong to the Green Party, Friends of the Carmanah Walbrand, and the Sierra Club. However, Vicky Husband of the Sierra Club is distancing her organization from this newest protest action. She is critical, however, of the tree farm license process. She says that environmentalists are not being given enough time to properly assess fishery, wildlife, and recreation values.
These are very complicated plans. They've come back and forth to the Forest Service from McMillan Bloedel because the Forest Service, I think, felt they were not adequate. So we need, I would guess, 2 to 3 months to properly review these plans. We're looking at 5 years, and these are critical 5 years, and I think society's values have changed sufficiently, and I want to make sure all our resources of the forest are being protected.
McMillan Bloedel forester Stan Coleman says that the Sierra Club had been invited to participate in the tree farm license process over the past 1.5 years, but didn't. He feels they still have ample time to conduct a review.
Island Rewind is brought to you by Arbutus RV. Whatever your adventure, 6 island locations to serve you.
Wendy's new pickle menu is a collab with me. Bill Pickle! Canada's best pickler, whoa, and the GOAT of all pickle menus. Iconic. The classic chicken and the spicy. Look at all those pickles on there. Come on! Wendy's new pickle menu is served.
We're investing in our communities, where we work, live, and play. We're supporting the places we call home. Fortis BC. Energy for a better BC.
With the Tacoma, you can be sure to earn your Saturdays off grid. But come Sunday, you can also earn that Best Dad mug. There's a Toyota that powers every adventure. Get yours at your local dealer today.
I wanna wake up, remember my dreams. I wanna feel all this possibilities.
Across Vancouver Island, farm families like ours are raising chickens for families like yours. Quality and freshness you can taste. From my family to yours. Enjoy.
Locally owned and operated, Postings Denture Clinics provides all your denture services. Our in-house lab means you can expect a quick turnaround. Postings Denture Clinics, the smile you deserve. Book your free consultation in Victoria, West Shore, or Sydney.
Take your comfort to new heights with Mountain Peak Heating and Cooling. With professional heat pump installs, dependable service, and in-house design, we are local experts keeping you comfortable through every season. Your home deserves comfort that steps above the rest. Mountain Peak Heating and Cooling.
Dive into adventure with Prince of Wales. Experience the trip of a lifetime watching orcas, humpback whales, and more. Book now, only at princeofwales.com.
This CHEK program is brought to you in part by Real Rug Washing by Loverrug.com. Fall in love with your rugs all over again.
Great weather setting up for the perfect weekend for the Canada Dry Victoria Dragon Boat Festival kicking off this weekend. From Victoria's Inner Harbour, here's Eden Chipperfield.
Ship Point is alive with competitive spirit as the 2026 Victoria Dragon Boat Festival kicks off this weekend. Thousands here to race and bond with friends and celebrate the rich history of the festival.
There's this long tie between Victoria and Chinese communities. Dragon Boat arrived here in 1994 as part of the Commonwealth Games as Hong Kong prepared to exit the Commonwealth. And ever since 1994, there's been dragon boat racing here in the Inner Harbour.
The Canada Dry Dragon Boat Festival is normally held at the end of August. However, because of the World Cup and another major event scheduled for late August in Victoria, the festival was moved to this weekend. Teams from across the island and the mainland are racing here at Ship Point today. Paddlers' spirits are high as they sprint the 250-meter dash in the Inner Harbour.
I am a breast cancer survivor, and I had somebody ask me if I wanted to go to Italy. So that was how my paddling journey began. I joined a breast cancer team. We started training. I joined a high performance team through the VI Paddling Club and ended up going to Italy and racing.
It's a real team sport, you know, and everyone's got to be just synchronized and strong together. So yeah, there's a lot of sense of community.
Just getting to meet a bunch of new people, see all the other teams that are here to race with us. I think that's probably the most important part, is to just have fun, try your best.
For those who may be curious about checking out the sport, it's open to all, regardless of experience.
If you're even interested in the sport, go try it. Even if you don't know about the sport, try it. It's a really great community, like both at UBC Current, but also at the community at large. They're just really great people, and it's a great place to meet new friends and get involved in a sport and just stay a little active as well.
The festivities continue tomorrow in Chinatown through walking tours that explain the history of the dragon boat and the importance of dragons within Chinese culture.
All right, you got an announcement for us, a little heads up?
Well, yeah, if you're looking for something fun to do tonight, there is a solstice party. So Jagged Roots is having a solstice sunset party at Legion 292. That's on Gorge Road East in Victoria. Yes. Party starts at 7:30 tonight. Now, as I mentioned before, this is my husband's band. He's been practicing nonstop.
Okay.
Yes, he now has 3 drum sets.
Oh, wow.
1 or 2 wasn't enough.
Okay. Are you going?
I'm going. Yes,
Okay.
They'll be dancing. It should be lots
Are you
of fun.
hosting
It's
it?
only $15. No, I'm just going to have fun.
Okay, that's nice.
No,
So
working.
you'll be there, and that's tonight at 7 o'clock.
Tonight, 7:30.
7:30. Well, you
Party
can get there
starts at-
early.
yes.
Get there early. Have a chat with Tess. All right. Enjoy your evening. See you tomorrow.
Good night.
Van all windows.